It is 6 o'clock, so I am going to call this meeting to order.
Roger?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Sherry is absent. Sean?
Yes.
Jason?
Yes.
6 present, 1 absent.
In your board packets is the agenda. I need approval and adoption of the agenda, please.
Motion.
Motion by Jennifer Moreland, seconded by Tiffany Dickens to approve and adopt the agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item is board norms, and for February, I would like to remind everybody that we will expect board members to make a commitment. And number 2, we will work together as a board that values consensus rather than a majority vote. I would like to remind everybody in the room that this meeting is being recorded this evening. I'd like to remind everybody to please silence your cell phones. If anybody is here to speak to us tonight, there is a sign-up sheet over on the cabinet. Please make sure you sign in. With all that being said, if I could ask everybody to stand and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With that being said, I'm going to turn the floor over to Roger for board recognition, please.
All right, good evening. It's good to have all you here. Again, this is one of the most important things that we do in every board meeting, and that is recognition. And whether it's our students, our staff, our faculty, or someone from the community, we have done that as well. So that, I think, is one of the most important things that we do, because there is a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes. A lot of things happen that if you're not in education or not in the building, you don't even sometimes notice or even see that happens. So tonight we're going to recognize 2 phenomenal individuals. We'll start the first one with recognition for February for Mr. Terry Weller, who was nominated by Crystal Hall. Over the past several years, Terry Weller has completed his task with a smile and a story. He can be found in the halls most evenings and weekends, cleaning away with a keen eye and ears for detail. Not only does he clean up after us in our rooms, halls, and gyms, but he also finds time to make connections with others through stories and memories. He goes above and beyond when it comes to inspiring students. Like the year kids set leprechaun traps, and Mr. Weller set them off and left proof behind each night. Just last month, he came to work the Pink Games and dressed in his best, the pink tailored shirt and tie and slacks. Terry is the type of person to remember exactly where each item goes in your classroom. He exemplifies our school mission, which asks us to inspire and empower others while helping to create a safe and supportive environment. We have a certificate tonight in recognition. Crawford County R2 School District is honored to recognize, grateful acknowledge the distinguished efforts of Terry Weller, a custodian, for your hard work and positive attitude, given this day on the 22nd. If you would come up, Mr. Weller.
I got a photo out here for the paper. Alright. 1, 2, 3. And Terry, not to put you on the spot, now how are you doing today? What do you tell me every day?
I keep telling everybody I got the best job there is.
Awesome. Can we give him one more round of applause? All right, so our next one, as you can see, we have a new student represented to the board. And this was a vision and a goal and a love and a passion that I had when I came on as a board member to get this rocking and rolling and having a student on our board. And the Board of Education jumped right on and was very supportive and has been since day one. And so that is something that I am very passionate about, and One of our board members is going off this evening, Miss Caitlin Dickens, and we have a new one coming on, Miss Sierra Britton. So tonight we're going to recognize Miss Caitlin Dickens with a plaque that says, Crawford County R2 School District honors Caitlin Dickens, student representative to the Board of Education. Thank you for your outstanding leadership and dedication to our students, to our staff, and to our district. Caitlin leads by example with her dedication to service, enthusiasm, and caring personality, not just for our campus, but for our community. We also would like to give you the plaque and your nameplate that was
Yeah, right here in front of the podium's fine.
Here goes right there. There we go.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Good one. And Roger, can I get another one with Terry and you real quick?
Okay, let me put
Terry, I didn't get your big smile there. My apologies. My standing.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Mr. Richmond, if you don't mind. I'll take two, right? I gotta be a big smile here, Terry.
Oh, oh.
All right, yeah, that needs to be.
Make it official. You are.
Just
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Much better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, so that's all of our recognitions for this month. Again, thank you so much. Thank you to both of you for your work and dedication in what you do every day in our school and our building, as not only just as a student, but what you've done on our board. So we appreciate you. And Mr. Weller, we appreciate you and all that you do. So if we can give them both one more round of applause. And that concludes.
Thank you, Roger. Now, as Roger alluded to, we have a new board person, and so if you'd like to come up to the front here, we are going to swear in our new student representative to the board.
I state your name.
I, Sierra Britton,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
I will support the constitutions of the United States
I will support the constitutions of the United States
and of the state of Missouri,
and of the state of Missouri,
and that I will abide by and uphold
and that I will abide by and uphold
the Crawford County R2 School District
the Crawford County R2 School District
Board Member Code of Ethics,
Board Member Code of Ethics,
and will faithfully demean myself in office.
and will faithfully demean myself in office.
I just need you to sign in.
Welcome, welcome. And I'm calling you here in a little bit, so. All right. Jacob, I may give this terminal back to you and have you put a little.
Is it the computer itself?
Fortunately, Angela printed me a hard copy, so I'm going to go off the hard copy until this thing comes alive. Do you want it? Yeah. Thank you. All right, so next item on the agenda is citizens' participation. I've got a complete list of all the speakers this evening, and so we are going to move right along into the consent agenda items. In your board packets are the consent agenda items. Does anybody have any questions or concerns, or do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda items?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion by Jennifer Moreland, seconded by Lisa Elrod to approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item in your board packet is financial statements and action on the February bills. Does anybody have any questions, any concerns, or do I hear a motion to approve the financial statements and action on the bills as presented?
So moved.
Second.
They're both.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Lisa Alrod to approve the financial statement and action on the bills as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item is under administrative reports. First item is board and committee reports. Does anybody have any board and committee reports?
Do you have what Ms. Judy shared?
Yes. So I think Sherry is in a statewide meeting today. Oh, thank you, sir. And so she could not be here, so she gave me she'll participate in our Region 12 Winter Rec Committee meeting. They will be reviewing the Region 12 winner of the Belcher Scholarships. She is also on the MSBA nomination committee, and they're going to meet on Tuesday, March 7th to interview for the next MSBA president, president-elect, and vice president. She also wanted to remind the board that March is School Board Recognition Month. There are several virtual legislative lunch and learns that will be held each Friday in March at noon. It is $40 per district to participate. She shared that there will be a virtual spring meeting, which is Wednesday, March 1st from 6 to 7:30. Here again, it's $40 for the district to participate. Legislative Advocacy Day is March 28th in Jeff City. Please let Dr. Davidson know if you plan to attend. Sherry will be attending, so you can put that check mark in the box. MSBA President Ray Murphy will be a featured presenter on the national webinar highlighting the impact poverty has on students. This free webinar is sponsored by COSSBA. Many state school boards have joined COSSBA since the issues at NSBA during the last couple of years. Are there other board reports that anybody needs to mention? I know we have another CSIP, I was about to MSIP, CSIP meeting tomorrow. Anything else good for the cause? Then we are going to move right along into building and principal reports. In your board packets are those principal reports. I'm going to start in the middle and work my way out today. Ms. Shoemaker, do you have anything to add to your report?
No.
Since it was presented. Are there any questions about the middle school report? Then I will go into the elementary school. Do you have anything you want to add?
Just one. We actually have a couple of our student coaches here this evening as well, but all my kiddos got to do the Kitty Cat Dance Camp back again this year. I think we had upwards of 90 kids that joined that.
It was a herd.
And so Worley asked me for about 15 minutes to cover it. She had a coaches meeting, and let me tell you, that is a different environment. They deserve a ton of recognition, but just an appreciative thing from the elementary. They don't have to do that every year, and it is something that my kids and families absolutely love. So thank you for that.
Does anybody have any questions about any of the information? High school, any additions?
I have 2 additions. First, I don't know if Ms. Sierra is going to bring this up. This happened Saturday. We had Rachel Martellaro place 5th in dramatic interpretation at the Marquette High School meet. That consisted of 20 plus schools and over 500 competitors. So we're very proud of her accomplishment from Saturday. And then Ms. Campos received recognition from the National Society of High School Scholars. She was nominated by Keaton DeClue, and so she is being recognized by them, and then I have a copy of her certificate somewhere. So she is one of our shining stars as well.
That's awesome. Does anybody have any questions about any of the information in the high school report? We will move right into welcome to the board. And in your packet is the student representative report. Sarah, do you want to share some of the highlights of your report?
I would love to. So in this first report I did combine January and February, so I made sure to specify. So the Key Club hosted a Super Bowl canned food and soup drive to donate to the local food bank. The FFA was busy with their annual candy arrangement fundraiser, and they had lots of positive feedback. It was a really big fundraiser for them. The Scholar Bowl team competed at the GBC conference competitions held in Viburnum and Cuba. The team also competed at the novice tournament held in Sullivan, and they are currently ranked second in the conference. The Golden Line dance team's hard at work raising money to go to state competitions on February 24th and 25th, and then they will also be attending nationals on March 3rd through the 5th. Student Council is hosting a Powder Buff volleyball game on March 7th, as well as a blood drive on March 9th. Selected members will also be attending state on March 16th through the 18th. The Science Olympiad team will be competing at Missouri S&T on February 25th, and the high school track team's first meet is Friday, March 15th in Potosi. And at the Cuban meet on Thursday, April 13th, they are planning to recognize the 11 individual state champion athletes.
Awesome. Thank you and welcome. Does anybody have any questions about that report? Well done. Well done. Thank you. Welcome to the board.
Thank you.
Next item is Special Education Director's Report, which is also in our board packet. Do you have any additions or corrections since it was put in? Does any board members have any questions? Thank you. Then we will move right into the Assistant Superintendent Report, which is also in our board packet. Do you have any additions?
I don't have an addition. I just wanted to highlight on my report under MSIP compliance, they did finally release our APR that we've been waiting on since October. It has been embargoed until March 7th, so that means that we're not allowed to share it. The media release is March 1st, so I'm going to be reaching out to Mr. Beeman and going over that data with him together. And then after March 7th, that data will be released publicly, so I'll be talking quite a bit more about our APR at the March meeting.
Awesome. Did anybody have any other questions on the Assistant Superintendent Report?
Oh, I apologize. Dr. Davidson reminded me, we did have a webinar with Commissioner Van Dieven last week, and one of the things that she emphasized repeatedly was it's very important to remember that this APR is under the standards for MSIP 6. It is very, very different from the standards and requirements that were part of MSIP 5. And so she repeated throughout the webinar, they are not comparable. This is our baseline year for MSIP 6, and APR to previous years cannot be compared to this year. So.
Just to add a little bit extra challenge to everyone.
Yes.
And thank you for that report. We will move right into the superintendent's report.
Well, just one thing here to add. Looking at March, having some salary committee meetings with our hourly wages and then our teachers' salaries. So on those committee members previously, we have Jason Mell, Tiffany Dickens, and Jennifer Moreland. Just asking if you guys would still like to be on those committees, or if you'd like to swap out or change with someone. Just kind of checking. So I'm getting a yes for Ms. Moreland. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'll send that out in March.
Would like to.
Yeah, and I'll give more of an update in the budget report regarding that, so thank you. And then just, Sierra did a nice job pointing out our dance team's got state competition this weekend, and then new opportunity going down to Orlando, Florida for nationals. So anytime we can allow our students to get more exposure to new opportunities, I think is a good thing. So currently have 5 members on the dance team, and hopefully they'll grow to 8 or 10. We've got one here, so I'm
Yep,
pretty
two
excited
here.
too. Oh, yep, sorry, right there in front of me. Yep. So pretty exciting for them to have that opportunity. So I think it's good for our students to be able to do that.
Awesome. Does anybody have any other questions about any of the information in that report? Thank you for putting all that information together for us. We will move into unfinished business. Dr. Davison, tell me about the 2022-2023 budget update.
Yep, so our current budget, again, we're in a good place. We have a lot of one-time money through the COVID relief. Puts our reserve at 57.5%. So what we'll do towards the end of the year, we'll spend some of that down, but then we can make some transfers over into capital projects as well. But again, it's just one-time money. Just kind of tracking some legislative potential bills that could have a pretty big impact on our school as well as surrounding schools. So just kind of keep an eye on those. So I'm trying to safeguard against budgeting. Next year, all indicators are we're good with the state. That's the year after. That's a big question mark when these laws go into effect and how that will financially impact. The state formula is being talked about as well right now. So there's a lot of potential changes. So again, we're in a good financial place and just want to be conservative and make good decisions to keep us there.
Are we on track with our budget though, as far, like, are we underspending this year? Have we gone over our budget for like about this time compared to last year?
Kind of 2 different years, looking at different pots of money, doing different things. Like we got fully funded this year with transportation. So we're actually a little bit ahead, but again, some of that's one-time money. We were at a meeting yesterday, legislation's already talking about they'll fully fund transportation next year, but the year after, they're already looking at pulling that back. So that's kind of hard to make a long range, but we do have some additional funds this year just from some of those.
Well, I guess what I'm actually asking is, you know, if we were looking at spending X amount of money in our year, have we spent 60% of that? Have we spent 90% of that? That's
Where we're at?
That, yeah.
Oh, yeah, so that reserves at 57.5. It's a little more complex because the reserves are the leftover money we haven't spent from those accounts. So I can't easily answer that question for you is that
Because of us for money.
well,
Yeah, but I mean,
but there's
generally,
transportation
like-
got added in.
But generally,
we got to assess
when we
evaluation.
go
that
through
got
our
added
budget,
in.
like, we'll say,
So without
we'll say,
those
like in
money-
December, hey, we have spent
Yeah,
about
so
50%
we're at the
of our budget.
37%. If you take all the ESSER stuff out,
Okay.
we're at the 37%. Is that what you're looking for?
Not really. That's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah, I'd be glad to talk to you more about it if
Okay.
you like. But again, the complexity is with these ESSER funds and these other grants and stuff right now, it skews all of this. And it's very fluid and there's a lot of variables. So if we were just a cut and dry, really once these ESSER funds flow through, it's gonna be easier to say, yes, compared to last year, we're on track, above or below.
Yeah.
Right now, it's just a lot of extra money dumped in there. So our state's in the same position too. They have a lot of one-time funds from the feds, and they're trying to figure out what to do, and that's affecting some of the legislation. But then after that gets enacted in a year or two of that legislation, then it's, oops, we overshot that or undershot, or, so it's just kind of this ebb and flow of where the funding is, so not a real simple question.
I think you're answering it with reserves and I was asking just more from like
If
a
you
yearly
take everything
budget.
out.
Yeah. But that's
So
okay.
budgeting wise though, we haven't done anything majorly different this year than we did last year. So we're, in that regards, real similar to those two as far as spending. So nothing, no big ticket items or anything like that.
And what, does anybody have any other questions about the 2022-2023 budget? Then talk to me about the 2023-2024 budget.
Yeah, so next year's budget, kind of touch base with that a little bit again, just trying to track legislation. What our pots of money are, what can we do with that one-time money versus annual reoccurring costs such as hourly wage increase or adding to the base that's there. But again, trying to safeguard we have money next year, but then cautioning, setting up programs to expect that money for year 2 or 3 that we're already kind of being told won't be there. But we're working with our accountants in the office here to gather budget items, talk to directors, building principals, get some big ticket items, see where we're at and what we can do. So we can still do some good stuff, one-time purchases. So if we're looking at a new mower for the district or a scrubber or something like that, we did a vehicle for the district, we've got money to do those things and probably should start doing some of that just to kind of get some of that money rolled off. But again, just trying to safeguard that and find where that balance is between capital projects and keeping some money in some hand to spend down and try to weather some uncertainties. So.
Does anybody have any questions? Next item in our board packet is policy 2555. We've talked about this for several months. The policy is in our board packets. Does anybody have any questions or concerns, or do I hear a motion to revise policy 2555 as presented?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Motion by Jennifer Moreland, seconded by Roger Bridgman, to approve revising policy 2555 as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item is under new business, approved donation transportation for project graduation. That information is in our board packet. Do you want to, Dr. Davidson, do you want to say anything about that?
I can. So that the regulation there is in regards to how many minutes before and after for supervision duty. Well, which one are you on?
Transportation,
Oh,
project
okay.
graduation.
Yep, sorry about that.
We do this, yeah. Go on.
So with project graduation, every year the board has donated $1,000 to that group. Last year they did not need a driver and a bus, so they forewent that. This year they are going to do that. That's in Rolla. I'm not sure if they've determined the location.
I think they were leaning towards the rec center.
Mhm.
There was a different location, but she felt more like the rec center was gonna have
Rec
more
center.
activities to offer
Okay.
for them for that night. She hadn't set it in stone when I talked to her
Okay.
last week.
Yeah, so that's still in the works, but it is at Rolla, so per board policy, board would need to approve donating the $1,000 as well as the driver and the bus.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Motion by Roger, go ahead, sorry.
Is there any discussion on the project grad discussion? No. Angela?
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Jennifer Moreland, that the district provide transportation to project graduation, and in doing so, become co-sponsors for this activity, and $1,000 be donated for this event. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
And then under 12B, authorized bus bids.
So again, this year, working with Mrs. Siebert and Mr. Wendell on some bus bids, we're getting some estimates. The buses 2 years ago were $85,000. Last year they were $115,000. This year they're $120,000 to $135,000. So if we could, if the board would approve purchasing one more bus, then we could get into a every other year rotation. Since going from the 5-day to 4-day next year, we'll have fewer miles on the buses and we can slow down needing to purchase. At these prices, I think it's probably not gonna hurt. We would increase our budget a little bit for maintenance items for buses, but we should be able to be fine with getting one more new bus. And our bus we ordered last year should be in 1st of March this year.
Do I have a recommendation to authorize the assistant superintendent to advertise and seek bids for consideration of one new bus for the 2023-2024 budget?
Yes.
Does anybody have any questions, any concerns?
Motion by Jennifer Moreland, seconded by Tiffany Dickens, to authorize the Assistant Superintendent to advertise and seek bids for consideration of one new bus that will be included in the 2023-2024 budget. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
The next item is to approve policy updates to policy 4511 and regulation 4220.
All right, so 4511 is in conflict. There's a policy we already adopted that was 4515, and our policy writers just asked us to change it to 4511. So I thought that was a simple, but it's still an edit the board would have to approve. And then the 4220, going back to the before and after supervision duties. Policy right now has 30 minutes before, 30 minutes after, looking at transitioning from the 5 to the 4 day, and working with the administrative team, and they kind of looked at their supervision duties. We could roll that down to a 20 minute before, 20 minute after. Previously, that was changed by, let's see, 2 superintendents ago. We just increased it just for supervision coverage. But we put in this addition, or any variation of the required 40 minutes. So some of our staff may come in 40 minutes early or 30 minutes early to cover morning duties and or vice versa in the afternoon. And we can have some flexibility there. So that's going to be pretty workable since we're doing extended days, and that we can shorten that a little bit for our staff by 20 minutes being here. And that would actually, if we approve this as is, it would put all of our classified and certified staff on an 8-hour day. So it'd be a nice kind of time for those individuals.
So first, I need a motion to renumber the support staff fringe benefits policy to 4511.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion, any concern about that policy? Or Angela?
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Lisa Elrod, to renumber the support staff fringe benefits policy to 4511. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
And then do I hear a motion to revise regulation 4220 as presented?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Lisa, oh, sorry.
And I was going to ask, does anybody have any questions, any concerns? Is there any discussion before we call this to a vote? Angela?
Sure. Motion by Lisa Elrod, seconded by Sean Siebert, to revise regulation 4220 as presented. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item is we need to approve for non-renewal termination of the MOBAP athletic agreement, the Compass Health MOU, and Four Rivers medical agreement.
So we're currently under contract or in agreement with these different organizations. With the Missouri Baptist, we are still waiting for an athletic trainer. Per their agreement, we have to get a 90-day notice. So just asking the board if I can go ahead and write them a non-renewal or termination letter, and then that way that'll free us up to look at some other possibilities for an athletic trainer next year. Do you want to do these individually or?
Either way, do you want to, okay, so do I hear a motion that we give written notice to non-renew, terminate with MOBAP regarding the athletic trainer?
Second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion?
I know Missouri Baptist is having problems getting physical therapists.
Yeah.
So I don't see anything in the future to open up for us.
I said it's a real shortage for them right now with that.
It's been a long year.
Really? Truly.
We have 2 other viable options. I think if we can part ways with them, we can
Move forward.
And I've already done some phone calls and legwork a little bit to have some other opportunities for us.
Very cool. I think we're ready to call for a vote then.
Motion by Tiffany Dickens, seconded by Lisa Elrod, that we give written notice to non-renew, terminate our agreement with Missouri Baptist Sullivan Hospital regarding an athletic trainer. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
And then do you want to talk about the Compass Health?
So with Compass Health, we entered into agreement last year, initially to help provide other therapeutic services for students. The unfortunate piece is that has been pretty hit or miss. Last year, there was a lot of conversation that I had with them as well. They kind of patched some stuff together last semester also, while advertising a full-time position. They had not received any applicants, so that's been posted since August. And the person that was assisting us is no longer with them. So I had to call them to, again, try to follow up and have gotten, I think, again, they're just struggling like others to fill positions, so they do not have anybody. So I think I'd be glad to look at it again if they do fill that, but I think I want to get into agreements with them having somebody first before us signing agreements and then waiting. Kind of switch the role around a little bit. But I would much rather, I'd love to have that in that position, but I don't like people thinking we have that to offer and it's not there. Because I do have our guidance counselors have concerns and they reach out, parents reach out to them.
And one thing about that also that I'll piggyback is you have to have consistency in that type of a field. And if you don't have that consistency in that person, it's doing detrimental to the kids more so than helping and benefiting them or the families. And I will tell you, we're struggling with that too. We do have ours, but now we're having to share him a day with another building in our district as well. So Compass is facing the same things that everyone else is, that there's just no one out there to do it. And if they can pass the background checks and the testing, it's a miracle. So yeah, it's unfortunate because it is, if you get a good one and you can get somebody in from there, it does help tremendously in the counseling world, and it helps those students. But there has to be consistency, or it just isn't. It's just, yeah.
So Roger, are you making a motion?
I will make that motion.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any other discussion? Then Angela, it's all yours.
Motion by Roger Bridgman, seconded by Tiffany Dickens, that we give written notice to non-renew, terminate our agreement with Compass Health Incorporated regarding a school-based therapist. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
And then, last but not least, the South Central Missouri Community Health Center.
So also doing business as Four Rivers Community Health Center. They had a grant for the mobile care unit, which was outside of the elementary last year. That grant money ran out. They were somewhat questioning whether they would come back this year or try to provide that. We came to an agreement to have services for 2 days a week. That again started to get real patchy last semester, to the point that now that person, I think, no longer works there, and I had to call them to ask if they were going to let me know anything regarding those services, and they have not returned my phone calls. And so, again, I don't want to string people along or think that we have some of these services that we don't. And if they want to have somebody full-time that they're ready to commit, I'll be glad to look at it again. But again, I kind of want to flip those agreements around to say, you have somebody first, not we get into agreement and then we try to find somebody. So.
Do I hear a motion?
Second.
Is there other discussion about canceling the contract with Four Rivers Community Health Center? Angel?
Motion by Tiffany Dickens, seconded by Lisa Alrod, that we give written notice to non-renew, terminate our agreement with South Central Missouri Community Health Center doing business as Four Rivers Community Health Center regarding additional medical services. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
Next item on the agenda is Board of Education proposed agenda items. Does anybody have anything that they want to add to the agenda for next month? Hearing nothing, we need to set the next board meeting, which is tentatively scheduled for March 16th at 6 o'clock. Is, the only question I would have is this 16th too early in the month?
No, we can, because we have spring break the week
I will
after, or the
not
last
be
week
here.
is spring break.
I will not be here on
23rd between those two.
March 16th. I won't. It's state student council, so we'll be in Jeff City.
Yeah.
What about the 23rd, following Thursday?
Yes.
Is 23rd good for,
Mm-hmm, that's track meet.
and 23rd track meet at Herman?
We'll try to be there. You sure French?
Just a bad day for you.
It's okay.
Or 21st, Tuesday.
I'm good with whatever.
Any three of those days? 16,
I'm
21,
good with the
23.
third Thursday at 6 o'clock, like the community ones as well. For, consistency. I'm good with whatever day.
And I am too, so. Someone want to make a motion for a favorite date?
Well, if we can all be here on the 23rd, I think that's kind of important. So I make a motion.
23rd is the fourth Thursday.
Right, that Roger can't be here on the 16th, right?
Correct.
16th. I won't be here. No, we have state.
The 23rd, Roger can be here.
Jennifer probably won't be here the 23rd.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Okay. Whatever.
Just one of you can do the awards. That's, is that easy? You're the 16th.
I will.
What about the 22nd?
I will be here. You know, I will arrange my schedule to be here if I need to be.
I can do any three of those
Yeah, y'all
days or
pick it.
four.
Somebody pick a day.
So I'm okay with,
I'll make a motion for the 16th at 6 o'clock.
There you go.
I'll do your awards if you have any.
Perfect.
there you go.
It's
Give
fine
me
with
the
me.
information.
Second that.
Do we have a second for that motion?
Right next to you.
We nominate Sean to help see
I'd be glad to. As good as she is, she doesn't need my
Yeah,
help.
no.
No, she's good.
Is there any discussion, or, can I say, Angela, call for that vote?
Motion by Tiffany Dickens, seconded by Jennifer Moreland, that the March board meeting be scheduled on Thursday, March 16th, 2023 at 6 PM with closed session to follow. All those in favor?
Yes.
Opposed? 6 yes, 1 absent.
All right. Next item is to adjourn to go into closed session after a 15-minute recess.
I'll move that motion. Second.
This is not really.
Motion by
you can
Tiffany
delete.
Dickens, seconded by Jennifer Moreland, to go into closed session in accordance with the provisions of section 6.1.021, subsection 3 and 13, uttered by statute of Missouri, in order to discuss personnel after a 15-minute recess. Roger?
Yes.
Tiffany?
Yes.
Lisa?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Sherry is absent. Sean?
Yes.
And Jason?
Yes.
6 yes, 1 absent.
Right here, 14, number 16.
You're good to go?